I don't even know what this looks like. Turn the head around. I will squint my eyeballs. Happy Monday. I've got a day off of work because it's MLK Day, and I thought I would do my Monday musings on video and talk about All-American Boys. So it is a beautiful day in the desert, and the library is closed, but I'm sitting outside it in the pit with this wonderful art done by some of the high school students, and I thought I would talk about All-American Boys before I turn it in, which is what I'm here to do. So if you haven't heard about All-American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley, it is a story told from two perspectives. One, a black boy named Rashad, who is the victim of police violence, and the other, Quinn, who is a white guy who is friends with the police officer who beat Rashad. And it alternates chapters, and it shows like a week in the life of these two boys as they're both dealing with the acts of violence that one experienced and the other witnessed. I think that this book, in the wake of all of the conversations about police brutality and over-escalation, it's timely. I listened to most of it, actually, more than I read it, although there were some scenes I'm like, I just can't listen to this, I have to read the book. And I spent much of last weekend, when I was listening to it, running my errands, sitting in the car and angry crying, because the conversations that are had in the book, the way the boys are processing what happened and what they witnessed and all of that, are very similar to the conversations that we are having and some that we need to be having about race relations in this country right now. So of the myriad of things about this book that I wanted to talk about, three I'm going to do in the video, and the rest I'm going to leave in my blog post. But here I would like to talk about learned prejudice, respectability politics, and loyalty versus humanity. So learned prejudices and the challenges of disrupting those prejudices. One of the things that Quinn has to struggle with, besides loyalty versus humanity, which I'll get to in a second, is how he has reacted to, engaged with other black people. So Quinn is a basketball player, and there are a number of black basketball players with whom he is friends and with whom he hangs out outside of school. But previous to this, Quinn has seen, witnessed discrimination and not said anything, not done anything, exercised the privilege that he has to not deal with said discrimination. And when he witnesses Rashad beaten by the police officer who he is friends with, who was basically a surrogate father for him, he starts to challenge his behavior, because it's not enough not to do anything. It's like, yeah, you can recognize discrimination, but if you don't do anything, then Quinn thinks, is he not just as bad as the people who are doing the discriminating if he does not stand up for something? Thing is, though, it's not just the white characters who have to deal with disrupting learned prejudices, I can speak. I'm going to spoil, so if you haven't read it and you're going to read it, and you don't want me to spoil it, you don't want to hear the spoilers, like, jump forward like 30 seconds, because I'm going to spoil something right now. Go. Okay, so when Rashad is in the hospital, his father is sitting there with him, and they're having a conversation, as much as they have conversations, and his father is telling him a story about when he was a cop, which is one of the 3 ways Rashad's father tells him stories. So this particular story is about a fight that he breaks up on, like, whichever side of town is not the gray side of town. You've got this kid who, well, these 2 kids, one black, one white, who are fighting, and when he and his partner roll up on these 2 kids, the assumption is that the black kid is beating the white kid. The black kid's like, no, you're not, this is not what happened. And he can't breathe, he's going for his backpack. Rashad's father's like, no, don't go for your backpack, and kid reaches into his backpack, and the black kid, reaches into his backpack, and Rashad's father shoots him. Now, he doesn't die, but he is paralyzed, and what he comes to find out afterward is, 1, the kid with the backpack, the black kid, was the one being robbed by the white kid, number 1, and 2, he was having an asthma attack, and he was going for his inhaler. So, and like at this point, Rashad actually starts listening to his father and realizes that learned prejudices are not limited to white people. They're also run rampant, in the black community. Rashad's father is talking about how he responded in a way that was specific to, 1, some of his previous experiences, and 2, things that he has learned based on how the media portrays black people. Disrupting those prejudices is challenging, and one of the ways that Rashad's father tried to help Rashad disrupt those prejudices was through respectability politics. So, simply, respectability politics is looking a certain way, behaving a certain way, engaging in a certain way, so that appear to be more respectable, and therefore, you can engage easier with people of the dominant culture. Now, Rashad's father, who was a cop and was in the military, encouraged and, pushed his sons to be in ROTC, to the point, and they engaged in such a way where the boys were, Rashad specifically didn't want to do things that would get himself in trouble and bring down the wrath of his father, which I can identify with a little bit. I was always scared of my parents and didn't do anything wrong, but that is a story for another day. But if Rashad had been in the convenience store getting chips and whatever, and been in his ROTC uniform, would he have been treated differently by the undercover cop, or the plainclothes cop? By the same token, at the end, not at the end, but halfway through, when the video surfaces and they're trying to control the media, Rashad's brother, Spoonie, sends the picture of Rashad in his ROTC uniform to the news, to the media outlets, so that they can control how Rashad looks to the media. And a lot of times I want to say F respectability politics, but to a certain extent, it is a challenge, much like disrupting prejudices, to disrupt the learned behaviors that engaging in respectability politics. Okay, so this turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, so I will finish up on the blog, and I'll put a link in the description. You can go there. If you have read or are interested in reading All American Boys, please hit me up in the comments. I really, really want to talk to people about this, and I don't think I know anybody who's read it off the top of my head. So, I'm going to leave you there now, dear readers. Until next time, I'm the Supplier wishing you happy reading. Don't forget to be awesome. Hello! Welcome to the end screen, wherein I tell you all about the places you can find me on the internet. My website is thebooksupplier.com, and you can find me at the Book Supplier at all of those places listed up in the corner, and I really hope I'm pointing in the right direction. Also, you can subscribe to the channel down here in this corner, and below you can leave comments. I like talking to people on the internet. Leave comments. Okay, I'm actually gonna get out of here now.